Donald Trump's father was arrested too, twice. Trump's father was arrested at a Ku Klux Klan rally. The Washington Post uncovered it in 2016. Fred Trump's first arrest took place in 1927. Brawls erupted in New York on Memorial Day. Italian fascist sympathizers and the KKK led them. 1,000 KKK members marched through Queens. 7 men were arrested. Fred Trump was one of them. He refused orders to disperse. Fred was 21 at the time of his arrest. His role in the brawl is not clear. He was released with no charges filed. Donald Trump denies his father's arrest. He allegedly didn't know about the second one. Yet he was working for his father's company at the time. Fred Trump was a real estate developer. He started a construction company with his mother. Fred was just 15 at the time. He started out by building garages. In the 1930s, he opened a supermarket in Woodhaven. He built apartments for U.S. Navy officers. Fred built Beach Haven in Coney Island in 1950. He overstated its construction costs. The property was worth $3.5 million less. Trump took $1.7 million in excess rent. The developers paid to sign their paperwork. Fred gave himself a big architect fee. He had access to government initiatives. His political connections allowed him to. Fred acknowledged his manipulations. He believed there was nothing wrong with it. Everything was legal on paper. Woody Guthrie rented an apartment in Beach Haven. He wrote about it in the song Old Man Trump. The early draft was called Beach Haven Race Hate. Fred Trump was investigated for alleged racist policies. A black man had tried to rent an apartment. The superintendent said it was unavailable, but the city Human Rights Division sent an investigator. The white woman asked about the same apartment. The superintendent offered her a lease. The Justice Department sued Trump in 1973. Both Fred and Donald Trump were defendants. Fred Trump was arrested again in 1976. The warrants were a surprise for him. Fred was cited for housing code violations. His apartment complex had broken windows. There were no fire extinguishers. Arrests are rare in such cases. Trump was released on a $1,000 bond. He left immediately for New York. The authorities couldn't reach him. The company blamed low-income tenants. Mary Trump wrote a book about her uncle Donald. She portrayed Fred as the family's villain. She claimed that Fred's company had destroyed his son's life. Freddie Jr. was his eldest son. Fred expected him to be his heir. In Mary's words, he wanted a killer, but Freddie didn't fit in. He was kind and soft-spoken. For his father, it was a sign of weakness. Freddie became a commercial airline pilot. Fred Sr. saw it as betrayal. He derided Freddie as a bus driver in the sky. He sent his other sons to talk to Freddie. They reminded him of their father's disappointment. Fred never apologized to his son. His treatment drove Freddie to alcoholism. Fred would shrug off his son's addiction. He downplayed concerns about his wife's health. Mary described this attitude as toxic positivity. Fred never acknowledged problems. He pretended everything was fine. Donald Trump calls him his biggest role model.